the channel. I'm Mr. Giggles, and this month it's Spooky Month. So sit back, relax, and get spooked.
Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Underdog Reacts and I watch Young Frankenstein with the tagline, the scariest comedy of all time. Ooh. Let's make the screen a bit lighter, shall we? Oh, there we go, there I am. Hello. Yes, Young Frankenstein, another Gene Wilder movie with Gene Wilder, and another Mel Brooks movie that we done right now. Not right now, but water. We've done Blazing Saddles, we've done Spaceballs, and probably also some other movies that we've done from Mel Brooks that I can't think of right now. I've seen Robin Hood, Men in Tights multiple times, so I'm quite familiar with that one. That said, let's just start with this movie, shall we? You know, it is a bit of an older movie, 1974. Also, this is officially the first Frankenstein movie, I think, that I've seen. Because I haven't seen original Frankenstein yet. Or the original, well, I've seen the original Dracula because that's Nosferatu, and I've seen the sequel also, looked up on my channel, you know. But I haven't done, you know, I think most of us haven't seen, you know, Wolfman or Frankenstein or, you know, normal Dracula or Dr. Jekyll and Hyde or something like that, you know, Hyde and Dr. Jekyll, whatever. You know, most of us haven't seen those original movies yet. Probably are never gonna see them, but I definitely still want to see those, and they're definitely coming to the channel. But you know, it will take a while because with those, you know, it's a bit of, you know, because some movies, you know, they meet each other. So I have to first watch the, you know, the other movies. So if it's Dracula meets Wolfman, then I first have to watch the whole Dracula franchise and the whole Wolfman franchise before we can watch that one. So, you know, just like we did with Anaconda and Lake Placid, you know, it's just puzzling. It's just a bit of puzzling when it's all coming and which order we have to watch it. But I still want to watch them, so it's still coming to the channel. But when it's coming, I don't know. Maybe in 2 years, maybe 3 years, maybe in 10 years. I have no fucking clue. That said, let's just start with this movie, because that's what you clicked on this video for. So let's just start, shall we? We see a castle on top of the hill, and the camera moves very slowly. You know, it almost looks like it's not moving. You know, the camera is not moving, but it's moving. It's moving. And that is during the, you know, intro credits. Sorry, it's 9 o'clock, so I'm a bit tired. You know. But yeah, very slowly. And it's raining, and we're now at the castle. We're not in the castle, but we're somewhere in the front, and the camera goes from an archio to, we see an archio, and it goes to the left, and we see a door, well, probably the front door, and the camera goes further. We see a small window, further, we see a bigger window, and there it stops and starts to zoom in. Inside we see some movement from a fire, probably from a fireplace, and we're now inside. Uh, we're zoomed in on a clock that says that it's 12 o'clock. I don't know if it's in the afternoon or in the evening, because it's an analog clock, it's not digital, so I have no clue if it's AM or PM. So I'm going on a limb and say it's midnight. So let's just say it's midnight. So now camera on the clock, and then it moves down to the left to a fireplace, and there it starts to back up, and on the left we see the side of a casket. And yes, there's a difference between a casket and a coffin. The only difference between those two is the form of said thing. A coffin is more like shape that, almost a bit of diamondy, it's like a diamond, and a casket is just a rectangle. That's basically the difference. But coffins are more cool. That's usually what you think of when a vampire, when Dracula comes out of his sleeping place. You might usually think of a coffin than a casket. Well, I definitely do. But we see the side of a casket, and then it goes again to the left, and we see now the shorter side of the casket. It goes up, and we see the whole casket now, and the camera moves forward, turns a bit, and we read the name that's on top of it. I think it says Baron von Frankenstein. Or is it Frankenstein? But we can leave the that, because if you want to know what's going to happen next, watch the movie yourself. Oh, I thought I've heard that this was a musical. Well, it ain't. Well, no. No, I wouldn't really call it a musical. There was one song and dance scene, which I will, discuss a bit later. Discuss a bit later. Touch on a bit later. Let's say that. Touch on a bit later. But it was not a musical, because even Robin Hood Men in Tights had a singing and dancing scene. We're men in tights. Yes! That part, it's always funny. um, that part always makes me laugh. Well, maybe more snicker. It makes me more snickering. It's just a funny scene. If you haven't seen Robin Hood Man in Tights, go watch the movie, because it in my opinion is really funny. It might be my favorite. History of the Entire World, I guess, part 2. I've seen 2, or was part 1. One of the 2 parts. I've seen that one too. Part 1, I think. I've seen that one too. What was it? Of the 15, 10 commandments. That's the scene. I've seen it over 10 years ago. So 15, maybe longer. So it's been a while since I've seen that movie. So it's also coming to the channel, but you just have to wait for a bit. But this might be my favorite Mel Brooks movie so far. Not this one, but I mean Robin Hood Men in Tights. That one is maybe my favorite, not this one. This one was alright, but it was decent. Let's say it was decent. Yes, we had Dr. Frankenstein. Well, that's what he called himself. Instead of Frankenstein, just like his father and grandfather. Obviously, Mel Brooks makes sometimes funny, stupid dad jokes, which turn out to be pretty funny. Like, Frederick Frankenstein, whatever you want to call him, we heard, well, Igor, instead of Igor, it was Igor, drove them with a carriage towards the castle. Him and his assistant, I think. And they heard some howling from a wolf. And I think he said werewolf. And Igor then pointed and said, "Their wolf, their castle." Just those stupid jokes that are still pretty funny. Stupid. That is so funny, and that gets me, That from a movie, that gets me, and then something from Addicted One is a bit harder, Humor. Frankenstein or Frankenstein had made a monster, and later in the movie, that monster start to choke him, and Igor and what's her name? It doesn't say here. Oh shit, sorry. No, it doesn't say. But his assistant, his lab assistant, they had to give the monster a sedative. But he had to play hints with them to get the message across because you're of the choking. So first, so many letters, the whole playing hints before they finally got it. It was, I think when they got at the castle, there was a woman, Frau Bulcher, but what was it? Bloodsher, something like that. And every time they named her name, the horses went crazy. That was another funny joke. It was a bit like the Blackadder episode that we watched as the last, season 3, episode 4. Every time Edmund said Macbeth, then those two aristocrats were the pinch nose. It kind of reminds me of that. Every time they named Bloodsher or whatever her name is, the horses start to go crazy. And then, when they went away, then I go just around, came around the corner and still one last name, Bloodsher. The horses are getting crazy. Funny joke. Yes, I said a dance and sing and dance scene. Yes, this movie had a sing and dance scene, and it was a tap dance scene, which I didn't expect, but it was definitely funny when the monster got his singing role. It was a bit like Rocky, Adrian. Oh. Which I haven't seen yet, which is still coming to the channel, so you just have to wait for a bit. But it's definitely coming, and I think I planned it in for next year. So if you want to see Rocky, the whole Rocky franchise, because when we're gonna watch Rocky, then we have to watch Creed too. So we're gonna watch that one after. So if you want to see those movies, subscribe to the channel because they're coming next year. That's it. It was a decent movie. There had definitely some funny scenes, but I don't think I can give the 4 out of 5. But a very low 4 is just too low, so I give the 3.75, and I feel good with that. Go watch the movie yourself. Leave likes. Recommend a good Mel Brooks movie down below in the comment section. Maybe one that I haven't seen haven't seen yet. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to my second channel, Underdog Eats, where I do foods, drinks every week. Also from time to time, hot sauce and alcohol. Or my third channel, Underdog Reacts, where I do primarily music. But that said, I'm gonna leave it at that. And you probably ask yourself, why didn't you try Blackadder today? Because I had some technical difficulties with my external hard drive. The laptop that I use is still a Windows 7. I have a newer laptop, but the one that I use for now is still with Windows 7. So there was something wrong with a fault. Now I can't upload videos to my hard drive through this laptop, so I have to use my other laptop that is newer to do that, which is kind of a hassle to just take the other laptop every time out of the bag, just to use it, while this one is open 24/7. But hey, shit happens, and I'm glad that I kind of resolved the problem. That said, I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for two new movies. It's definitely the Blair Witch from 2016, I think, and Rumpelstiltskin, which I actually want to watch this Monday, but because I didn't have Haunted Honeymoon uploaded that Sunday, I put on the Monday, so Rumpelstiltskin will come tomorrow. So if you want to see that movie, subscribe. Otherwise, you just have to wait for a bit, and maybe look it up when it's coming out. And I also hope to do some new Blackadder season 3 episode 5, but we'll see if that one will come, because that one is sometimes a bit. I have to make some time for that. But that's it. I'm gonna leave that and see you guys next time. Bye.